Self-discovery on the way. Reflect, reset, be your best. Join the quiz, it's not a test. Feel the light, embrace the dawn. Empowerment, it's going strong. Daily lesson quiz, hooray! What did we learn today? Join the fun, let's all play. Reflect, reset, rise today. Morning gods, we shine so bright. Wisdom flowing pure insight. Soars through God's words, they lift us high. New beginnings reach the sky. Every moment, take it in. Start anew, let's begin. From the dawn to the night, together we ignite. Daily lesson quiz, hooray! What did we learn today? Join the fun, let's all play. Reflect, reset, rise today.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to First Light Reflections, your weekday guide to self-discovery and empowerment, where each sunrise brings you and I a new, fresh opportunity to do what, family? To reflect, reset, and create the best version of ourselves. How is everyone doing this morning? How you doing? Good morning, Burton. Good morning. What's going on, Jay? How's it going, 15G? Let's see. Good morning, Michelle. How have you been? Did you keep everything in order while I was away on break? I know Michelle did. Charlotte, sometimes. Good morning, Charlotte. I missed you too. Come on now, the number one sportscasteress in these YouTube streets. Good morning, Yolanda. So glad to see you coming in, family. I hope everyone had a restful, wonderful weekend. I know that I did. I enjoyed myself in some rest. Yes, I did. I'm not even gonna lie. And before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to thank all of you that are joining me here in the live. It's amazing to see our community back here on this day that the Lord has made. So let us rejoice and be glad in it. As we prepare to enter this sacred time of reflection, let us quiet our hearts and intentionally surrender everything to God. Seeking his kingdom above all else is the doorway to our transformation. And a special welcome to all of you joining live again in the chat. You make our mornings brighter. If you're watching this on the replay and out in the foyer with my number one usher, Florence, she'll take good care of you. Good morning to you as well. And of course, my replay viewers, I deeply appreciate you being a part of our spiritual growth. So make sure you say hello in the comments, share your thoughts or whatever is on your heart today. Michelle said, I'm trying to keep it together day by day. Aren't we all? We're just yet holding on, keeping our hands on the plow, trying to keep everything together. So let us do what we do around here. Let's get into it. Let's not delay. As I said, when we were last together, last Monday, on our 1 year anniversary celebration. Or was that Tuesday? Man, I lost track. Was it Monday or Tuesday, family? No, it was Tuesday. Yeah. Silence shakes the enemy. Picking up in verses 16 through 18 this morning in our devotional text, still in Proverbs chapter 12, making our way through. Now, I know Michelle said, that's what I thought, Sam. I said to myself, and myself said, girl, it was Tuesday. It wasn't Monday. It was Tuesday the last time we were together. Did anybody go read ahead? Just say, you know what? Let me get ahead of coach and see what the lesson is about. Matter of fact, all of the lessons this week just really put the pause in me as I went back through and said, you want me to say, what, Lord? Huh? Okay. You should say it like that. Okay. Right. So this week, right, we come back off of a break going through hills, valleys, loops, and turns. So keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. Grab your biblications, whatever it may be that you use to follow along. As we look at it this morning, silence shakes the enemy. Silence shakes the enemy. What's that saying to us, right? Let's talk about what I call the trap of the immediate, right? Because some people, they're counting on your reaction. That is they are waiting on your reaction. nothing more. The person who pushes your buttons, the enemy who plants that thought, even that past version of you that you've been trying to outgrow, guess what? They're all banking on one simple thing. And what is that our devotional text is going to tell us this morning? They're hoping that you'll respond without thinking, that you're going to react before praying, and that you'll speak before processing. And guess what? I'm here to tell you, you don't owe anyone your peace on a platter. When we overspeak, and I believe it's on Wednesday, we're going to talk about the text takes us through oversharing, the dangers of that. You don't owe anyone your peace served up on a platter. And that's exactly what you do when you respond the way that they expect that you're going to respond. You've been led to believe that holding back is weakness, when in reality, guess what, family? It's your superpower. Today is the day that the Lord has made. Be glad, walk in it, and utilize your superpower. What if silence isn't being passive? What if it's not about passivity, but about spiritual authority? If we reframe our minds to look at it in that way. Good morning, Marie. So glad to see you. What if restraint isn't about fear, but about mastery of self? That's the core of what we're going after in today's devotional text. This situation designed to provoke you, frustrate you, to completely, in some scenarios, completely derail you, right? And it doesn't need your destruction. It just needs your impulse. That's all it needs to come into fruition. So see, the real trap isn't what happened. It's how fast you respond. It's in the text message that you send a little bit too soon. The post that you write when you're still a little bit too frustrated. And the argument that you escalate instead of walking away from. Right? See, immediate feels right until it ruins what God was trying to do. So this isn't just about anger. This is about attention this morning, family. Are you with me? And the enemy knows if he can't steal your destiny, he's going to come in and he'll distract your discernment. He will try and derail it every single time. So before we dive into this, I want you to ask yourself, where in my life, where in your life is immediate stealing what's meant to be intentional? Say to yourself, self, and when yourself says, say, self, where is immediate stealing what was meant to be intentional? Right. That takes us to our question of the day. When was the last time you reacted in the moment and later regretted what you said? Or maybe how you said it? That's our question of the day. That's our self-reflection. That's your journal time question for the day. Right? As we walk our way into Proverbs chapter 12, verses 16 through 18. Are y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you still sitting in astonishment that we're coming out the gate this way? I'll wait. It's a little too quiet up in here in this sanctuary. I'm going to wait a minute. Are y'all ready? Now, I know we had a few days break. Do I need to go find Regina? Regina! Let's see. Y'all ready for, all right then, that's all I need. Let's walk on through this, right? Our devotional text this morning, this isn't just a scripture study, family. We're going to have a heart surgery right out the gate this morning. Charlotte says, I may have made it through the weekend without blowing up. God be praised. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Thank you, Lord. See, God is good. We're going to do some heart surgery this morning. Let's break this down verse by verse, right? And I'll walk with you through every single line, as I always do. Let's step into it. A fool's wrath is known at once, but a prudent man covers shame. What's this saying? Here's the setup. God is showing us a real-time emotional diagnostic here. That's what this passage is showing. Who are you under pressure? Right? Because that's who you really are. Under pressure, that's the person that you really are. So let's slow it down a little bit. A fool's wrath is known at once. That means the fool doesn't think, they simply erupt. They don't evaluate, they simply react. They don't check with God. They do what? Say, I'm going to check with my ego first. Now, that's not any of us, is it, family? Because the real deception is that this reaction, it almost feels honest because the world says, go ahead with your bad self. That's how you need to react, right? It feels honest. And that's the trap of this. In a culture that celebrates, go ahead, girl, speak your mind, God calls you to steward your mouth. And Charlotte says, I may have made it through the weekend without blowing up. See? God calls us to steward our mouth. We're in the driver's seat. Then he comes into the scripture and drops the contrast here. But a prudent man covers shame, not in the sense of hiding sin, but in the sense of protecting dignity. Whose? Yours and theirs. See, wisdom knows when to speak, what to say, and when silence is the sharpest and best response. Wisdom knows this. So let's pause here. When was the last time you defended your pride at the cost of your peace? And remember, I started out saying, do not allow anyone to cause you to hand over your peace, your joy, your sanity on a platter. Because when you simply erupt, when you respond, that's exactly what you're just serving it right up to them and say, here, just take it. Just take it. Just have at it. Good morning, Jess. So glad to see you. When was that last time you defended your pride at the cost of your peace? Powerful question, family. Let the Lord speak this morning. Because wisdom waits, but pride panics. Let's look at verse 17. He who speaks truth declares righteousness, but a false witness, deceit. See, this isn't just a verse about lying. This is a verse about how you use your truth. Your truth. Michelle says, nope, not a fool. Have to walk away because I have the last baton. See, this takes us into looking at how do we use our truth? How do we do it? See, here's what most people miss about this. Truth without righteousness becomes a weapon. We had a study over the weekend that I was participating in on early hours of Sabbath morning and talking about how truth is used. You know, it was a conversation on prophecy. And one of the points that I made was that, you know, yes, we can understand prophecy. Yes, we can know truth. But when we yield that sword in the wrong way, we weaponize it. So we have to make sure that we are not weaponizing truth. Because truth without righteousness, plain and simple, becomes a weapon. See, you can be right and still be wrong. You say, huh? How so, coach? Let me tell you. If your motive is to wound, to control, to protect your pride at all costs, your ego, or evaluate yourself. So let's look at it again. He who speaks truth declares righteousness. Righteousness means alignment with God's heart. See, this is the truth that heals, the truth that restores, the truth that frees. But a false witness, deceit. See, this doesn't just mean false information. It means bending the truth to fit your narrative, to win the argument, to save face, as they say. That's not just dishonest, family. It is spiritually dangerous. Hot potato. What do they used to play the game? Hot potato. Hot potato. Let it go. It's spiritually dangerous. So ask yourself, are you using your truth to heal or to control? And the thing about trying to use it to control, oftentimes we think we're at the helm, we think we're in charge of the wheel, but we're driving ourselves to our own destruction. See, because not all truth promotes health, only righteous truth does. Let's go a little bit deeper into this morning. There's one who speaks like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise promotes health. See, some people grew up on verbal violence, so sharp words feel normal. They feel okay because that's what you saw. That's what we, possibly grew up around. Clapbacks feel like moments of power, but silence feels like losing. Oh man, I can't be talked to like this. I can't just sit here and be quiet and not say anything. So let's break this pattern down. There's one who speaks like the piercings of a sword. Have you ever talked to someone and walked away feeling wounded, even if they said it in love? Right? That's what this is. That's what this passage is talking about. Some of us learn to use our mouths like machetes and then wonder why relationships start to bleed out. Now, flip it. But the tongue of the wise promotes health. Now, look at the word here, promotes, as in pushes forward, makes room for, encourages, intentionally promoting health. So this isn't about sounding soft or weak. This is about intentional speech that builds. That's what this passage, that's what our devotional text is guiding us through this morning. Your words can either perform surgery or cause severe scarring, not just to others, but also those scars can be on ourselves as well. So here's the reality check. Are you using your words to win battles or heal wounds? See, that determines whether you're walking in wisdom or wounding out of habit, because it can become so the norm that you don't even realize that it's happening. See, let's make a modern day connection point here and ground this in real life today situations. Let's make it plain, make it clear. When you get that disrespectful text, do you immediately fire off a whole dissertation, an entire paragraph? Or do you pause, pray, and protect your peace? Because the one thing that I've learned with the 2 PhDs that I have, probably have done it, probably had it done to me, is guess what? You don't want to know what I've learned? It's okay. To put that phone down and to walk away. You don't have to respond. Or you can wait and say, Lord, guide me in this response. Give me a moment. Allow me to just sit in this pause. It's okay. When someone speaks over you, do you lash out to prove a point, or do you elevate yourself by responding with emotional maturity? Or if they go to 10, you say, I got to take this to 12. And before you know it, everybody in the room is above 25. See, those situations, I can't do it. The louder you get with me, the quieter I'm going to get. Until eventually, I just stop talking and allow you to tire yourself out. All right. So, do you lash out or do you elevate yourself by responding with emotional maturity? When someone brings your past, when they bring up your past, do you cut them with sarcasm or clarify your boundary with kindness? See, it's in these moments, family, it's these moments that reveal who's really in control. Your emotions or your values. Which one? There's to be a balance. Which one? Is it our emotions running the show, or our values, because it does make a difference. Makes a big difference. See, Satan's strategy is to mislabel your reactions and say, you know what, that's strength. But let's be honest, the enemy doesn't always tempt us with sin. Sometimes he just nudges us towards a reaction. He knows that if he can get you to curse God, he'll get you to curse with your tone. The tone sometimes is even more wicked than the words, right? He comes in and he whispers, don't let them walk all over you. Have you lost it? Did you not hear what she just said to you? Did you not hear what he said? Don't let them walk all over you. Look, you better speak up for yourself, even if it hurts them. Don't worry about their feelings. Oh, it's not that serious. They deserved it anyway. These are the things. See, but remember, the enemy, his goal isn't just your silence or your speech. It's also your credibility. Generally, in situations like this, I'm willing to go out on this limb and say 99.99986.5% of the time, your credibility is going to get called into this situation some sort of this way, in some shape, form, or fashion. You're going to be accused of doing things that you have not done. You're going to be blamed for things that you had nothing to do with. Slander, it usually comes into play in these situations. So the enemy's goal is not always just to silence your speech. He has to bring your credibility into it as well. And in almost any situation, and that's speaking from experience of myself being in situations like this prior. 99.9% of the time, my credibility came into it as well. So Satan knows that if he can get you to explode, he doesn't need to steal your influence. He knows that we're going to do it ourselves. You will destroy it yourself. So as we walk through this devotional, what if the breakthrough you've been begging for isn't waiting on God? I present to you and say, it's waiting on your ability to pause before you react, to pause before you speak, to pause and pray before you make a move. Because here's the truth. The enemy doesn't need to ruin your future at all. He just needs you to keep responding like you've done in the past. To keep on keeping on in that same old, same old. You riding with me, family? Or do we need to back this bus up and pick someone up? Or did someone automatically jump out the window and say, I'm gone, coach. I'm gone. Let me know, fam. How we doing? And I'm just here to tell you, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, ooh-wee, Proverbs didn't let up this week. It did not. So that's why the 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. prayer watch exists. Because it's not just early, family. This is strategic. This is the hour where heaven downloads what your emotions have been too loud to hear. Right? During this time, the clarity hour. It's not the time to perform. This time, during this period, this is the time to rewire. This is when we reset, reframe. Chapter 12 has been emphasizing the pause before we react thing. Very much so. And I'm telling you, if you read on through this week in chapter 12, it goes even deeper. A couple of times I'm telling you, I had to take my Bible and put it down and say, ooh, 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 ooh. Because you know the message is always for the messenger first. And anytime it's not, then that's when it's time for me to hang up my hat, turn down these lights, and close the shingle. Because always has to be a message in it for the messenger first. So during this time, family, let's look at how to activate this. Ask God, Lord, where am I still reactive instead of righteous? Show me. Begin to listen for what triggers still control your tone. What triggers control your tone? Because the tone sometimes can be vicious, even more vicious than the words that come behind it, come along with it. Surrender. Not just your hurt, but that need to be right. Ask for the power and the strength to be wise. See, this is your mental reset during this time. Look at it as a spiritual detox. And I call this the heavy hitter times. It's grown folks' time right here. This is your mental reset and spiritual detox. The moment where clarity replaces chaos. It's not what, but how. How is it said? Reflect during this time. How did I say it? Right? Where old habits break and discernment takes the wheel during this time, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. See, here's the call to action. Set your alarm. Set your alarm. When it goes off, don't think twice. Don't just pray. Process. Process. Sit in the silence with it. Bring your mouth, your mindset, and your motives under the authority of heaven before the world wakes up and tries to shape your mood. See, this is why this watch is so important. I don't know how many have read through the ebook, the Prayer Watches ebook, because this 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. is setting the tone for the upcoming day as you roll into the 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So you're setting the intention for your day by spending that time. And I'm not saying that you have to spend the whole 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., but any time during that time, bringing your mouth, your mindset, and your motives under the authority of heaven before the world starts to wake up. And any imps, enemies that the devil is planning to send out to try and shape your mood, to take control of your day, the moment you put that key in and back out of your driveway and you get into traffic and he says, here she comes, we waiting, because I know how she gonna react as soon as she sees all this traffic. We finna get into it now. See, family, because in this hour, you don't just get answers. This is the time to get your alignment, to gather your alignment for the day. And to learn more, make sure you download the Prayer Watches ebook and unlock these practical strategies. Scan the code or tap the link in the description to grab your copy so you start praying with precision, not just passion. See, here's what it all comes down to. Our devotional text this morning, we went through Proverbs chapter 12, verses 16 through 18. Silence shakes the enemy. And here's what it comes down to. See, you don't have to raise your voice to raise your standard. You don't. You don't have to dominate conversations to demonstrate strength. There's strength in the silence. There's strength in the pause. There's power in the pause. You don't have to clap back in order to move forward. You can just keep going. And see, every time you respond with patience, every time you withhold words that could cut, every time you choose wisdom over reaction, guess what? You're not shrinking. Don't listen to what the enemy has told you. Don't listen to what the world has told you. You are not shrinking. You're growing. Remember our lesson week before last. You're progressing. The needle is moving forward. The needle's moving upward. I know you can see, you're like, yep, I remember the thumbnail now. You're making progress in that upward direction. You're not shrinking. You're shaking the enemy's strategy and you're shaking it to the core. Come on, Florence. Take that cow and make your own. Start churning. I can't wait to see what you turn out. Leave the salt out of mine. I don't. Well, you know what? Just put a little salt in it and give me some of that butter. right? You're shaking the enemy's strategy. So don't just talk different. Make the intentional. Set the needle to be different. Because healing doesn't just come through prayer. It comes through practice. And once you start to say, you know what, I realize that I don't have to clap back in order to move forward. Don't be like Lot's wife and turn yourself into a pillar of salt looking back at what was, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Just keep moving forward. Because healing doesn't just come through prayer. It comes through practice, family. Practice. So let this devotional this morning, coming back right out of the gate, you're like, man, coach, hey, I gave y'all time to rest. We ran the field this morning. Let this devotional text be your reset. Allow this verse to be your mirror. He who speaks truth declares righteousness, but a false witness, deceit. Allow silence to be your strategy. All right? What do you say, family? A new reference for the term salty. Lot's wife. That's it. That's it. Don't be salty. It never works out. And there's nothing you can do or say to convince me otherwise, because I've been in too many situations. All right? So you've heard the truth. Now it's time to lock it in and lean in. And this quiz isn't just for recall, family. This is also for reinforcement. And speaking of reinforcements, listen, family, did y'all know I got some young reinforcements out there? Yes, I do. Helping to propel these parents along. Yes, I do. I got a crew of young young reinforcements. And they range from the age of 8 up to 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah. We got some young reinforcements behind this ministry saying, come on, coach, I got your back. I'll help mama out over here. I'll help pops out. I'll help grandma out. Yes, 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 yes. So I send a special shout out this morning to Apollo. Yes. To Ashton. To Amara. To Aiden. Right. And to Ashton. Ashton, Amara, Aiden, and Apollo. Y'all help keep these people in line for me, please. I appreciate the reinforcement work that y'all are doing behind the scenes. All right. Yeah, we got a young crew over here. So let's get into this quiz this morning, family. Y'all ready? Take a breath. Let's go.
In the morning light so bright, it's the first light reflections quiz time. Tornado leading the way with God's wisdom. Let's start the quiz and seize the day.
Let's go.
Man, I had that up loud last time, didn't we? True or false, fam? True or false? Reacting quickly and emotionally is a sign of wisdom. Reacting quickly and emotionally is a sign of wisdom. Is this true or is this false? Yes, setting an example by action, practicing now. I've always helped others. Now it's time to... Come on, Michelle. Listen. You see what Michelle says here? Let me run this back. I've always helped others. Now it's time to help Michelle. Transformation is tough. Come on now. Man. Y'all saying false? No truths, no takers on truth this morning. All right then. I agree with y'all. Right out the gate, Coach agrees with y'all this morning. Fast reactions, they may feel real, they may feel authentic, but they often come from unprocessed emotions. No wisdom behind it at all. There's one who speaks like the roar, thunder, piercing, strike zone of a sword. But the tongue of the wise promotes health. Fill it in, family. Fill it in, fill it in. There's one who speaks like the roar, the thunder. Thunder rolls, piercings, strike zone. What do you say?
Something is wrong here.
Vanessa saying 3. Saying, I'm going to agree with you this morning, Vanessa. Let's see. Speaks like the roar, the thunder, the piercings, or the strikes. Oh, hey, y'all got Florence in on it, so y'all might be on to something. Yes, indeed, piercings. There is one who speaks like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise promotes health. According to our devotional, what is not one of Satan's goals when targeting your emotions? According to our devotional, what is not one of Satan's goals when targeting your emotions? To hijack your healing, control your reactions, to weaponize your words, to draw you closer to God. I'm telling y'all, when I started, well, even though I was off, old coach was still working behind the scenes and going through these lessons, getting ahead of things. I'm telling y'all, when I was sitting with this last week, all week, like, man, what a week. I can't come back with roses and flowers and cake and ice cream. But hey, let's see. That's it, fam. D, to draw us closer to God. That is not one of his plans at all. A fool's wrath is known at once, but a silent, holy, prudent, scared man covers shame. Which one? A fool's wrath is known at once, immediately, but a silent, holy, prudent, scared man covers shame. Which one? 1, 2, 3, 4. What say you, fam? Get thee behind me, Satan. Far behind. And when you get some hit on the gas, punch it real hard, Charlotte. Leave him far behind. Let's see. Prudent. But a prudent man covers shame. Wisdom covers shame. And again, remember, this is not to hide it, but it's to protect dignity, your character. We're made in his image, remember? Which of the following was used as a modern day example of wisdom in action? Was it preaching to strangers at Walmart? Resisting the urge to comment on social media or drama? Reading Proverbs out loud to your coworkers? Or ghosting toxic friends? Which one? A, B, C, or D? Which one? Charlotte, I don't know. I'm just working through it right now. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. Let's see. Resisting the urge to comment on social media and or any kind of drama. Just leave it. Just take the pause. As they used to say, take the L. Take the pause. I started working on that line. I got one of them in there. I'm going to have to add that one to it too. Take the pause. Be like, I'll just take it. Take it. I got one of the shirts into the shop. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Respect the pause. It's wisdom behind that thing. True or false? Choosing peace over proving a point is weakness. Is this true or is this false? Choosing peace over proving a point is weakness. True or false? What say you, fam? What say you? Michelle says false. Florence? Man, I can't wait to see what kind of butter you make over there, Florence. And I know Florence does. She puts the pretty packages, has it all, and I can't wait to see what package she puts that in. She's like, yeah, I got a special package for this. Can't wait. Answer is indeed false. Peace is power under control. Weakness reacts. Strength, true strength, withholds. All right. Your unfiltered emotion isn't always truth. It's just recycled, unprocessed, inherited, justified trauma. Which one? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Your unfiltered emotion isn't always truth. It's just simply, is it recycled, unprocessed, inherited, or justified? Or it could be all of the above. I'll take a 5 too. Oh my goodness. Yes, indeed. It's wise. Respect the pause. There's wisdom in this. Let's see. Yes, indeed, that is correct. It's just unprocessed trauma. See, without healing, our emotions become our loudest but least wisest voice that chooses to speak for us, family. That's the results of unprocessed trauma, things that are unprocessed that we went through in life, not fully processed through. What does the clarity hour, the morning watch, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., what does it help to reveal? Whether you fasted properly, distractions buried under the noise, future opportunities, or God's plan and dreams. What does the clarity hour, that morning watch, help to reveal? Whether you've been fasting correctly, following the rule book, following the prayer and fasting guide, going through the motions, distractions, future opportunities, are God's plan and dreams. What say you, fam? What sayeth thou? Let's see, Charlotte says B. Vanessa said, I ain't listening to you this morning, Charlotte. I'm going with C. Let's see. God is surely testing me before the teaching. Outcome, I did good. Come on, Michelle. Come on. That's what we're talking about. Passing the test, family, because we know this world is not our home. Distractions buried under noise. That's what the clarity hour helps to reveal. The stillness of the early morning. When you sit in that quiet will help expose what's really running your mind and your mouth, family. True or false? Silence and strategy confuse the enemy more than rage and retaliation. True or false? Silence and strategy confuse the enemy more than rage and retaliation. Is this true or is this false? What saith you? Let's see. That is indeed a fact. When you don't respond the way that he expects you, you dismantle his entire setup. And he has to be like, well, that plan, that didn't work. Okay. Let me regroup here. Man. All right, family, let's bring it on home. What's one key action step from this devotional? One key action step: confront everyone who offended you. Reflect on a time when you reacted too fast, or just stop talking altogether. Or memorize the entire book of Proverbs. What's one key action step from this devotional? I mean, we definitely know it's not number 4, because you know some people, they can tell you every single verse from the beginning of Proverbs to the end, but just reading through it, memorizing it, not putting it in action, doeth thouest notest any goodest. Come on, be careful of silent retaliation. Ensure you allow God. All right, got to be careful. Got to watch your step, family. Let's see. Let's check it. Check it, direct it. That's it. Reflect on a time when you reacted too fast. See, awareness is the first step. We know this. Acknowledging is the first step. Awareness is the first step to self-mastery. Reflection can lead to healing, family. And just know that they're not after your peace. They're simply after your reaction. Now, what comes from that is you hand up your peace on a platter and you hand it over. But that's not what they're after. They just want to see the reaction. You ever had someone do something, they're like, I knew you was going to, I knew that's what you were going to say. I knew that. See, that's all they want. Because if they can get you to explode, they don't have to deal with your wisdom. They don't have to. But when you hold back, not out of weakness, but out of control, you flip the script. You take the pen and you write the narrative. Now, this ain't one of them fancy pens like Florence got over there with that fancy paper and everything, but this Sharpie S gel, it'll get the job done. Flip the script, rewrite the story on them. You stop playing defense and make the intentional choice to say, you know what? I'm going to walk in my divine authority today. I'm going to take my crown and I'm going to tip it just a little bit. And I'm going to walk in the pause and in the silence and wisdom. Remember, explosions are loud, but restraint, family, is legendary. Hold your power, guard your peace, and watch how God moves when you don't. Remember that. Take that with you today. Guard your peace and sit back and watch how God moves when you make the intentional decision to say, I'm going to pause. Holy Spirit, you go ahead. I know you got this. All right? Family, this is the day that the Lord has made. Walk ye in wisdom, family. Step into it and step into it boldly. Step into your spiritual authority today. And remember, you don't walk this journey alone. Emmanuel, God is with each and every one of us every step of the way. All right? Until next time, family. Walk good. Do good. Be good. Tornado, I'm about to be out of here. All right? That was allow God to hear. That's right, Charlotte. Fix that crown today. Fix that crown and walk straight. Walk in that spiritual authority. And me, I'm about to walk up out of here. All right? God willing, I will see you guys back here tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Be good, family. Oh, and as my good friends over in Malawi say each time we part, me gone.
Wake up to the sunrise glow. First light reflections, here we go. Torah uses God's wisdom to guide us every day. Self-discovery on the way. Reflect, reset, be your best. Join the quiz, it's not a test. Feel the